विजिबल है सबको?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
यस सर।
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
बट अब जहाँ विजिबल नहीं है ना वहाँ कोई प्रॉब्लम है, कोई सॉफ्टवेयर का प्रॉब्लम है, कोई इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी का प्रॉब्लम है, इंटरनेट बहुत स्लो हो सकता है, किस तरह की वजह हो सकती है ना। मैं चलिए एक आध मिनट वेट कर लेता
जी
हूँ।
सर। सर आप रिकॉर्डिंग करके छोड़ दें, हम बाद में वो कर देंगे।
रिकॉर्डिंग तो हो रही है, रिकॉर्डिंग तो लगा हुआ है, रिकॉर्डिंग तो
हाँ,
लगा
बस
हुआ
वो
है।
करके छोड़ दे तो वो बाद में हम सुन लेंगे। अभी ये लोड नहीं होगी क्योंकि इंटरनेट स्लो है।
चले, ओके। सो दिस इज सेकंड प्रॉपर्टी that extend demand function satisfy the utility constraint। वही जो मैंने आपको अभी व्हाइट बोर्ड पे करके दिखाया था, बेसिकली यही है कि यूटिलिटी वैसे तो फंक्शन होता है x1, x2, x3 का, तो हमने क्योंकि हम ये शो करना चाह रहे हैं कि यूटिलिटी जो है उसको सेटिस्फाई करता है एक्सटेंड डिमांड फंक्शन, तो हमने x1 तमाम x की जगह एक्सटेंड डिमांड फंक्शन सब्स्टिट्यूट कर। Now we are going to differentiate it with respect to price. So there are n number of prices, so we are going to differentiate it with respect to first price. Here we did it. Okay. This is u, derivative of u with respect to P1 is equal to, now you come here, here what you have? Here, u is not directly the function of price. U is the function of x and x is the function of price. Utility किसका function है? x का, और x किसका function है? price का. So if we are going to differentiate utility with respect to price, if we are going to differentiate utility with respect to price, we cannot do it directly, we have to use the chain rule. So this is what we have done here. So it's curly u over curly x, derivative of utility with respect to first commodity, and then derivative of first commodity with respect to price, and so on. Derivative of utility with respect to second commodity, and then derivative of second commodity with respect to price till the last commodity. And we know that change in utility due to change in price, there is no such relation, so it's equal to 0. Okay, it's equal to 0. Now, according to first order condition, we know that, okay, I'm not going on first order conditions, we'll go there on later on. What is this? This is curly u over curly x, which is the marginal utility. So I wrote it as u1. And similarly, what is this? Curly u over curly x2, which is marginal utility of second commodity. Curly u over curly xn, the marginal utility of last commodity. So we wrote it. Okay, so we got this equation number 2. And now just recall the previous lecture where we derived the extend demand function. So in the derivation of extend demand function from the first order conditions, we know that each lambda is equal to pi over ui. It's ui, it's not uii. ये दो दफा लिखा हुआ है, ये एक ही दफा होना चाहिए. ओके, सो कल हमने जो एक्सटेंड डिमांड फंक्शन डिराइव किया था, उसके अंदर हम लोगों ने जो फर्स्ट ऑर्डर कंडीशंस निकाली थी, अगर उन फर्स्ट ऑर्डर कंडीशंस को हम देखें तो हमारी फर्स्ट ऑर्डर कंडीशन ये थी कि लैम्डा प्राइम इज इक्वल टू पी आई ओवर मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी यानी कि यू आई। तो वहां से अगर हम इसको यू आई के लिए सॉल्व कर लें, यानी कि क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई कर लें, इस लैम्डा को नीचे ले आए, ये जो मैं अपने कर्सर से शो कर रहा हूँ ना, यहाँ पे हमने क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई किया, तो ईच ई यू आई इज इक्वल टू पी आई ओवर लैम्डा। तो हम करेंगे क्या? दिस इज u1, इसकी जगह लिखेंगे p1 ओवर लैम्डा प्राइम, u2 की जगह p2 ओवर लैम्डा प्राइम, un की जगह pn ओवर लैम्डा प्राइम। So this is what we have done it. You can see here. The first u1 is written as p1 over lambda prime. The second u2 is written as p2 over lambda prime. And the last one un is written as pn over lambda prime. Now you can see here that from this entire expression, 1 over lambda prime can be taken common. 1 over, and this is equal to 0. 1 over lambda prime can be taken. So if you take 1 over lambda prime common from this particular expression, right, then it will be 1 over lambda prime into something. अब 1 over lambda prime जो आपने यहाँ से कॉमन लिया, इसको दूसरी तरफ ले दे तो ये 0 के साथ मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएगा। जब ये 0 के साथ मल्टीप्लाई होगा तो ये खत्म हो जाएगा, तो वी विल गेट दिस थिंग। तो आप ये समझ लें कि 1 over lambda prime from this equation is factored out. After factoring it out, we took it on the other side. When we took it on the other side, this lambda prime was multiplied by 0. So जब उसको 0 से multiply किया तो खत्म हो गया. We got this expression. Any question? Okay. Let's proceed further. So this is the last equation of previous slide. देखो बेटा इसमें से लैम्डा प्राइम को कॉमन लिया जा सकता है ना, ये देखिए यहाँ पे भी लैम्डा प्राइम है ना, इधर भी लैम्डा प्राइम है, सबके अंदर लैम्डा प्राइम आ रहा है। तो इस पूरी की पूरी इक्वेशन में से, जिसके ऊपर मैं अपना कर्सर फेर रहा हूँ, इस पूरी की पूरी इक्वेशन में से हमने 1 ओवर लैम्डा प्राइम को कॉमन ले लिया, 1 ओवर लैम्डा प्राइम को कॉमन ले लिया। अच्छा, अब 1 ओवर लैम्डा प्राइम को कॉमन लिया, उसको दूसरी तरफ जब ले गया तो 0 से मल्टीप्लाई हो गया, 0 से मल्टीप्लाई होकर वो खत्म हो गया। तो मकसद ये है कि इस पूरी की पूरी इक्वेशन में से we just factored out 1 over lambda prime. So 1 over lambda prime खत्म हो गया, तो we got this thing. Now this is what we got here. Now you can see here that this is what we got. We can further simplify it and convert it into elasticities. Look at the expression. Look at the first one. This is x over p1. Okay? We already have this is x over p2, this is x over pn. So what we did here, we multiplied all the sides by both sides, we divided both sides by m. You can see m is here, and then we multiplied and divided by the same factor. For example, here the first one we multiplied by x1 divided by x1. Here in second we multiplied by x2 divided by x2. Third, multiplied by xn and divided by xn. Then after some simplifications, you can see here that p1 over x1 is this here, and this is here curly x1 over curly p1, it's here, and what is remaining is this, that you will have x1 into p1 over m. And similarly, look at the second expression. In second expression again, if you can see from here that few terms are the directly elasticities, that's p1 over x2 into curly x2 over curly m, and few factors are extra, we have written them on one side. So this is what we have done, and you can see here x1 into p1 is in fact expenditure on x1, this is expenditure on x2, this is expenditure on x3. So we can say here the first part, this one is the elasticity, to which we have written as sigma 11. Here, this is the elasticity, the cross price elasticity of second commodity with respect to price of first commodity. We wrote it as sigma E2. And this is the elasticity of third commodity, the last commodity with respect to the price of first commodity. We wrote it as elasticity of nth commodity with respect to price of first commodity. And here, what is this? This is expenditure on first commodity divided by total expenditure. So it's expenditure share of first commodity. And what is this? Expenditure on second commodity divided by total expenditure. This is expenditure share of second commodity. And similarly, what is this? Expenditure on last commodity divided by the total expenditure. It's expenditure share of the last commodity equal to 0. So it means that what we get here, weighted share of price elasticities, utility held constant price elasticity, sum to 0. Okay, I'm repeating it here. Just what we have done here is this, it's nothing new here. We basically started with the utility function. In the utility function, we substituted the Hicksian demand function. After substituting the Hicksian demand function, we differentiated it with respect to price. When we differentiated it with respect to price, we got this expression, which is du over dp1 is equal to u1, which is marginal utility of first commodity, into curly x1 over curly p1, plus u2, which is marginal utility of second commodity, into curly x2 over curly p1, and plus so on, marginal utility of last commodity into curly xn over curly p1 is equal to 0. According to first order conditions, we know this u1 can be written as p1 over lambda prime. This u2 can be written as p2 over lambda prime. This un can be written as pn over lambda prime. So this is what we have done here. Okay, now you can see that in each term of this expression, this is the first term. Here in this term we have lambda prime in denominator. This is the second term. Again we have the lambda prime in denominator. This is the last term. Again we have the lambda prime in denominator. It means that lambda prime is present in all the terms of this expression. So this lambda prime can be taken common. So we took 1 over lambda prime common, and after that, after factoring it out, we took it on the other side. On the other side there was 0. So it was in fact 0 multiplied by lambda prime. So 0 multiplied by lambda prime is 0. So we wrote it 0. So we got this expression. Now this is an expression. You can see here that this expression can be worked out into elasticity. So we did nothing. We just tried to convert this expression into elasticities, and that's what we have done it here. We converted into elasticities. When we converted into elasticities, we found this particular result, that sum of on price and cross price elasticities, weighted sum of on price and cross price elasticity is equal to 0. And what are the shares? The shares are the expenditure shares. But remember here, these are not the ordinary on price and cross price elasticities. These are the utility held constant on price and cross price elasticities. That's why we wrote here U, just to make it very clear that this is not the ordinary on price elasticity and ordinary cross price elasticity. It's the utility held constant on price and cross price elasticity. The weighted share is equal to 0. And what are the weights? The expenditure shares. Any questions? Now we are coming to the next concept, the concept of expenditure function. Just recall, आपका जो तरीकाकार है Marshallian demand function में क्या था? What was the style there? We first of all derived the Marshallian demand function. Then we discussed the properties of Marshallian demand function. Okay, and Marshallian demand function was substituted into the objective function to get the indirect utility function. ठीक है, याद कीजिएगा वहां पे हमने क्या किया था? Marshallian demand function derive किए, उसमें ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन क्या था? यूटिलिटी फंक्शन. हमने Marshallian डिमांड फंक्शन डिराइव करके उनकी प्रॉपर्टीज डिस्कस किया. फिर हमने कहा कि यही Marshallian डिमांड फंक्शन अगर हम अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन में डाल दें जो कि यूटिलिटी फंक्शन है, तो वहां से इनडायरेक्ट यूटिलिटी फंक्शन आ जाए. एग्जैक्टली वही मैकेनिज्म यहाँ पर भी है. एक्सचेंज डिमांड फंक्शंस आर डिराइव्ड with the assumption that they are the expenditure minimizing demand function with utility held constant. So in Hicksian demand function, the objective function is expenditure function. So if we substitute the Hicksian demand functions into their objective function, which is the budget constraint, in fact here it's not the constraint, if we substitute them into the budget equation, we will get the expenditure function. So let's discuss it. What is expenditure function? The minimum level of